Am I audible?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay. സെറ്റായോ? ഹലോ. ഹലോ മിസ്.
കേൾക്കാം മിസ്.
കേക്കാം. ഓക്കെ. ഓക്കെ. ഹലോ. ഹലോ
മിസ്.
ഓക്കെ മിസ്.
ആരാ പോയേ? അതെ. അവിടെ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞില്ലേ മറ്റേ
Hello, guys.
Good evening, everyone. I warmly welcome all the participants, faculty members, and our esteemed resource person to the second day of our faculty development program. Yesterday's session gave us valuable insights into the role of emerging technologies and AI powered tools in education, research, and academic activities. Building on those discussions, today's session focuses on how AI and digital tools are transforming the way we teach, learn, and innovate. It is my privilege to introduce our resource person for this evening, Mr. Nivin Vincent Raj sir. Mr. Nivin Vincent Raj sir is an entrepreneur and AI practitioner who completed his master's degree at the University of Liverpool, United Kingdom. During his studies, he identified the unique challenges faced by the international students in adapting to new environments and planning their careers. To address these challenges, he founded CAFE, an AI powered career platform designed specifically for international students. Today, the platform supports thousands of users across the UK by providing intelligent career guidance and support. Mr. Nivin also holds a Bachelor of Technology degree in Aerospace Engineering from Hindustan Institute of Technology. His journey from engineering to entrepreneurship and AI exemplifies innovation, vision, and a commitment to creating meaningful impact through technology. Today, he will share his insights on the topic how AI and digital tools can transform the way we teach and learn. We are confident that his expertise and practical experiences will inspire us to explore new possibilities in education and effectively integrate AI into our academic practices. On behalf of the Department of Robotics and AI, the organizing committee, and all the participants, I extend a heartfelt welcome to Mr. Nivin Vincent Raj, sir. Sir, welcome. We are delighted to have you with us. Now, the platform is yours, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for the very warm welcome. And it was a very wonderful, like a very meaningful opportunity which I got. So I was basically on a vacation back to India, and one of my friend came up to me and told me about this wonderful opportunity where we can actually share about our expertise and experiences. So I was very much happy to do that. And so in this meet, I'll basically first share a couple of. I'll share you a screen so that just give me 1 minute. I'll set up that. Okay. Um, Guys, just wanted to confirm one thing. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Audible.
Okay, thank you so much. So, before I get into it, I'll just introduce myself. As Gaurima mentioned, my name is Nivin Vincent Raj, and I did my master's in the UK. I mean, of course, that's the only major thing about my entrepreneurship journey, because basically, when I moved to UK, I found students struggling with their journey. So basically, students were struggling with their job hunt because of the cultural differences. The moment, because we were in in India, we have a very different education system, and in the UK the education system is very different. And of course, even I struggled for at least 6 months initially, and only then I figured out how exactly I can navigate myself through that path. So that's when we decided to build a tool called Cafe, which help students in terms of getting a job and also helping them throughout their journey. So basically, first thing I wanted to understand is, if I ask you one thing, what exactly artificial intelligence mean to you in one word, what you would actually say if it is just one word? Anyone would like to say that? Okay, so okay, so I'll just take things forward. So usually, like, when you hear artificial intelligence, people will say it is scary, or it's a future, or it's useful, or mostly people say it is chat GPT. I'm not gonna lie, everything is correct, because the reason is ChatGPT is something that introduced AI to us. That is even same for me. I initially used ChatGPT's open playground platform. That's that's when 2022 ChatGPT came out to the world and said, yes, so we are giving you AI. It's gonna make you smarter, make you faster, and things like that. But eventually, even now, people still see, if they want to know what is artificial intelligence, they still say ChatGPT. But there are various number of tools that are coming out every now and then. Every day, it's very hard to even keep up with things. But by the end of this hour, maybe we can try to add one thing. We'll have one set of word. Maybe we can add it. That's called practicality. So we'll be going through a couple of tools which we use, and also our university professors use in the UK. And I'll show you how exactly they use it to speed up the process. And so before we go inside, I also wanted to say, I have in my family, I have few of my sisters who work in universities and who work in college, in schools. I have always seen them doing their work even after coming back from work, like let's say from school or university. Either they are grading the mark sheet, or even preparing for their next seminar or next assessment. So usually, and I have also seen a few people like taking multiple subjects to students. Let's say a same professor in a university, he might be handling multiple subjects. So that professor has to actually go through a lot of academic research and also a lot of research to even do that, and that puts an immense pressure on him or her, whoever is taking that course. And also one more thing is, that's an additional workload. Let's say if you're working in university and you have to come back and prepare, that's every week you are spending an additional hour of work to just cope up with the increasing demand. And one thing is, I'm not going to put a filter here, because students are using ChatGPT and other tools right now. Majority of them have like there is no policy on that, so everyone tend to use. Even in UK, what happens is, like, a student use ChatGPT to their assignment and they get plagiarized. So they are completely, they get failed in the assignment, because now they have started using plagiarizing systems. Like, so the moment student submits the document, which is done by AI, the system flags it is done by AI, and the student is like directly banned. Like, let's say he's failed in the exam. But in terms of India, like, the system is a bit slow, but yes, it is coming. I can see like major IIT and IIM, they are coming up with resourceful tools which will help them in terms of preventing these tools. I had this talk with someone from IIT like a couple of days back. He's doing his master's here. It's one of my brother. So he was telling me about all this improvements that they are trying to do in terms of adapting AI within their system. And okay, so if you have also seen the current shift in the market, so the market is currently like almost various number of universities have shifted in terms of using AI. In terms of even the tool which we have built, we are in talks with a couple of universities to integrate within their university for students. Of course, we are currently focusing on students. Even Kefi as a platform, we are currently focusing on students, where we are providing it to the university. University will provide it to the students. That's our end goal. But if you look at what educators at the end of the day, what professors and what researchers are getting, they are not getting anything. They have to find their own tools, set of tools, and they have to do their own research. So that is one major shift. That's not, students are getting all the privileges and the professors and university is not, as of now they are not considering that part. But almost 92% of the universities globally are using the AI. And also faculties, of course, they are trying to adopt, but it's not a university approved, or like university is ready to get them to that position. And one more thing, if you look, all the students are basically are working without a guideline, and the professors might now have to do extra bit of research to even support them in terms of them doing it. So right now, let's say we will do one thing here today. So this is the framework. So basically, uh, so there is one framework for the whole university which fits in all the things they have to do. So they have to either create. So basically, they have to build their teaching consistently, like content even faster. Let's say nowadays there is a smart class platform coming up throughout throughout India. So either you can showcase a PDF in the projector, or you can send it to the students. So in just to create a PDF, a professor might have to spend a lot of hours just on that. uh, so if let's say if you think about a couple of years back, when we used to, I was doing my aerospace engineering, our professors has to prepare PDF, which will take them countless hours. So they don't usually update themselves. What they tend to do is they create one set of PDF in the start of the year, which they use across the whole year. Maybe in the two months break, they tend to update it. And I haven't seen that in my 4 years of engineering. I hardly seen that happening. But I'm not going to complain, because it's one of the hardest tasks, because they have I had like eight like almost six subjects in a semester, and all subjects has like different PDFs. And imagine the time load that the professor needs to create a new set of PDF whenever then there is a new update or new updated software coming up to the market. It's going to be hard. But now with AI support, it is possible. So even the PDF that I'm presenting right now, it is done by AI. But it took me a couple of minutes, because I was trying to see which PDF was working better, because I was using a couple of tools. I'll show that as well. Once we have go through this slide, I'll take you through a set of tools which I use on day-to-day platform, like day-to-day life, and also the other tools which professors and AI researchers can use. And the second thing is basically engagement. So if you are not making the students engage to the content that you're producing, it's actually at the end of the day going to wait. So if the students are not able to understand the whole concept in a so the whole concept of getting it in a PDF way is so students can understand it visually. But if it is not making them engage into the content, the students are not buying it. That is one of the major issues. And but with the help of AI, even that is being like solved. But then again, just because of the AI, there are so many issues, because people's attention span is also reducing. It's basically because of all TikTok and Instagram. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually one of the doom scrolling things that people tend to do. And then grading, basically access. So giving better feedbacks to most students is one of the hardest tasks right now. I have seen a lot of companies coming up with various solutions in terms of grading as well, because grading is one hard task. Let's say a teacher have to go to like 100 students exam paper, and that too they have to provide it within next 2 days. So either they don't have a free hour to just do it, or they don't, or even their personal life and the professional life collapsing. So nowadays I have seen a trend. In the last 2 years, I have seen a multiple number of grading softwares that are being introduced, and that has been also implemented within the universities across US and UK. So what that does is basically, since all the exams are online based, and they can do it is done through PDF and Word format. So it is run through a AI agent, so which scans for the exam answers, and it verifies and it marks it. So it gives a summary, and the teachers are easily able to grasp what exactly the students have written, and they are able to access if the marking was right or wrong. Of course, it's not going to be like 100% accuracy. Even if you check all the website like GradViz and certain website, it mentions saying we have a 99% or 98% accuracy in terms of grading, because they can't mention that saying it is 100%. That is one thing. And then, so before we get on to the prompting part, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share you a set of tools which I use on a regular basis. So basically right now what I did was I have done one thing. So Gamma is the app which I used in terms of creating this whole set of PDF. I was trying to usually I use Canva and Notebook LM. Today I was trying to see, you will of course definitely look at Notebook LM as well. So the reason we started with Gamma was not supposed to be a tool which I was going to talk about, but then I wanted to show you that all these PDFs have been done. Today's PDF was done by Gamma itself, and it actually took me like 10 minutes to create all this PDF. So I'm going to say this is something that as a educator, someone can use it in terms of their day-to-day life, in terms of creating a more niche down documents and things like that as well. And so if you take a look, so this is the set of tools we are going to talk about today. So first one I'm going to talk about, I'm going to actually also demo the tool right now for you guys. So it's called Perplexity. I think most of the people here might know what Perplexity is. So this tool is basically something that came out after, I think around 2022, after the ChatGPT's boom. It came with a single goal of replacing the Google Chrome. So the problem in the market was the Google Chrome. Whenever you try to search for something, let's say you search anything related to robotics or what, like anything related to AI, it gave you links for certain uh, links to the answers, but it was never giving what exactly you are asking for. Let's say you ask it what exactly, what is the formula for this, maybe it won't give you the formula, it will give you the links to the articles which has the formula for a certain article. But now what exactly happened after Perplexity came in was Perplexity was able to give you what exactly you want. So this is how Perplexity will look like. If I'm pretty much sure a lot of you might have used Perplexity, like most of you might have used Perplexity on your day-to-day life. In case if not, I thought I'll just showcase how exactly it works. So basically, this will how exactly the whole uh, interface look like. You can either do a lot of things over here. So majorly what exactly it has is it has a couple of options. One is a search, one is a deep research. So this will be basically for when you are trying to go in depth within the document to find new articles or things like that. And then you have a premium option. This is a model council. What exactly it does is rather than, so now we have multiple models. Let's say OpenAI is there, that is ChatGPT. Then there is Anthropic, that is Claude. And then we have Perplexity's own set of uh, models as well, and even more. You can actually take a look at this here. So we have enough number of uh, LLMs right now available. That is Sonar, GPT, enough number of things. So you don't know which model is going to work out for you. So this model council is something that works in your favor if you are doing a research. So basically, you can ask it. Ask a question, so it compares all the answers by every council, like every LLM model, ChatGPT, Claude, and then there will be one set of agent which compares everything and give you a set of information. That is the only premium option that you have to pay for a max subscription. And then you have a learn step by step that is similar to or one of the other tool which we will actually show. So maybe we can ask one specific thing. So the answer is going to be, so rather than it giving you something like how Google would give you just the links, it will search each and every links and it will give you a set of details here right now straight away, which you can read. So whatever the question was, it will be able to give you the answer throughout. And you can either, if you are happy, you can just copy and paste it. Or in case if you want to follow up with that, best practices for designing a robotics PBL curriculum or whatever it is, it can actually follow up. But with terms of Google, it's like you have to go inside each document, then you have to copy paste it, things like that have to be done. So this tool is one of the most useful tools for people who are like trying to get more citations and for a general research. Let's say if you want to just do a quick class tomorrow, you can basically use this and help students in terms of learning much better. If you can see this one little citations here, these are the areas that this Perplexity got the answers from. So you are always backed. So unlike how ChatGPT initially was working, where there was no citation, so it was also falsely creating the citations. And we had a time once one of the students in university got, it was not a plagiarism. Basically, he was trying to get citations. ChatGPT created a false citation. That was never a book written. It was never a doc, like it was never a research paper. But what happened was, ChatGPT, it was hallucinating and it created a own document. So he basically thought it was a document and it got plagiarized. So those kind of reasons won't happen in terms of Perplexity, because Perplexity has its own citation which gives you where exactly it got the information from, and you will be also able to, in case if you want to take a look, you just have to click that and it will take you through that document so you can verify the information. And so this is one of the tool which you can actually use in terms of a quick research, and you can see it will give you all the links from there. So you are always good to go see all these links. And then in terms of if you are researching something, you can also find the image models that are more relevant than how Google used to give you something. So this is something that we use on a regular basis as well. And this has more features, but I'm like not going to take you through this, like, for a much longer time. But if you are someone who's using to research, you can definitely use that. And then, so the next tool which we're find out uses concerns. So right now, let's say if a teacher right now or a professor is planning to create a new set of teaching approach or a research. So basically, he need to find evidence to back that, because none of the panel is gonna approve that this is something useful, or this is something that is backed or majorly by major universities, and we can also implement within the university. That will take months time frame for someone to do it. It could be like a dean, or it could be like someone who's in a major level, so they have to go through n number of documents before they can even try to present it to the panel. So what this platform does, it researches almost 200 million peer reviewed papers. Let's say you ask for a single you ask for a doubt. Let's say you wanted to get some information through it. You can actually basically give a prompt. It can search almost like up to 200 million peer reviewed papers, and then also it can give you what actual percentage the studies are agreeing to what exactly you're searching for. And so right now we will actually take a look at this in action, how exactly it does. So basically, I'm going to copy this exactly right now, and I'm gonna take it through this page. So right now I haven't logged into this platform. So basically it's gonna help it allows you to do some research for free without even logging in. So we are not gonna do it. But if you log in, if you just open up the website, it's gonna literally say here research starts here, and it can analyze almost 200 plus million. I mean, they keep updating, of course, that's how they keep up with the market, and they will be available. So one thing that you have to, like, if you want to add some file to it, let's say you have a set of documents which you are going to use to add a weightage to the research, you might have to sign up. So as of now, I'm not going to do it. And then if you click on this, you have two set of options. It's not just for any AI or robotics or IT, whatever the department it is. It is for anyone and everyone. There are even medical journals. In case if you want to research specifically through medical forum, medical research, let's say you are building a cutting edge technology for robotics technology for a medical based platform or a medical tool, what you can do is you can use such tools to speed up the process. So you can also click on the, like, filter will give you much more option, but it will ask you to sign up. So right now we are gonna click on this search. So it is right away taking us researching right now. Let's give it like a few minutes. It might take like 10 to 20 seconds. And if you have seen, the question that I gave was, does stimulation based learning improve skill transfer in robotic education? So if the same research, of course, if you're doing in multiple different platforms, it might give you a certain generic answer, but not a research backed. So right now, if you see, it has also given you what are the papers it have researched. You can take a look at all the research papers it has researched. It was some almost one of the best parts. It has researched most of the recent papers as well, like 2025, 2025, like almost 2018 to 2025. That is one of the times when the stimulation based learning and all these AI tools were starting to show up in the world. I mean, it was there. The AI has been there from 2010, 2011. That's when the topic about AI started flowing. And 2015 is when OpenAI actually got funding and they were like doing major research. But the world got to know about AI in 2022. So that is a time frame difference. And if you take a look here, your meter, it was showing around. So you can take a look. It will give you much better idea in terms of your research as well, how exactly the research works and how exactly the people are thinking about this. And you have also got, this is your meter, it says 75% yes. And mix is like 8%, and there is like no is 70. So it already gave you a better understanding about that. And also if you take a look, you have all the documents that you have researched. So what you can also do is you can click on that. Basically, it will take you to sign up, and then you can use that document. So this is one of the tools which a professor or someone who can use in terms of their research to find evidence. Basically, someone who's looking for some more evidence-based research for their teaching approach or even their research documents. And then there is this elect. Elect was something more personal to me as well, like, because what I can say, when I initially did moved out of India for my masters, all I have never done a literature review that intense in India. of course we have to do it, but it was not that intense like how people in UK were doing it. So UK's education system, or even US, my friends, since a lot of my friends were went abroad for their masters and their education system, or even if you are doing their PhD in certain countries now, so the research approach was completely different. You have to do a literature review which will take months. So your final one assessment, like which weightage will be like almost 60% of your whole uh, course, is depends upon this one literature review which you are going to do. So people spend like 6 months just to create this one set of document which will help them in terms of their 60% of the weightage. So that is more than 50% of, that is more than half of what they are going to study for. So what this does is this will help you in terms of helping speed up this right now. So rather than you spending uh, hours on each and every paper, so this literally will scan 10 relevant papers in just 5 minutes. It won't even open up any PDF. It will just skim through each and everything, rather than you opening up PDF, reading about it. And I can actually say I had to do that. I basically, for my final dissertation, I did a literature review on strategic leadership, how a startup environment works from how a bigger MNC works. So that was a topic which I did initially. So I have to read good number of documents. I was like literally not, I wasn't even working at that time. I was literally sitting up. All I have to do is every day I have to read like at least 5 to 6 papers to understand. And also I have to take notes, and I have to also back things up at some point. But with this tool, one thing that you can do is you can speed up that. So if this tool was there when I was doing my masters, I wouldn't have to worry about this all issues in my back of the head, and I could have done things much better, and I could have even scored even better ranks. But I mean, honestly, that's how things are right now. AI is speeding up the process of people getting into much better things. So I'll also show you how exactly this works, this tool. So basically, right now, if you take a look, I was trying to, not gonna lie, what I actually thought was I would showcase each and everything. I thought of screen recording, but then later I decided I can show the things in live to you. So it will be much better for everyone to understand. You can also try using it. So this is how the website usually looks. If you take a look, it is like, it literally says AI for scientific research. So usually people don't go to ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity to do their scientific research. If someone, I'm pretty sure a lot of people here have done their PhDs, and I'm pretty sure they know how hard it is to do this literature review in terms of research. Because I recently, maybe a few months back, I was in touch with someone from who did the PhD in 2017 from IIT. Yeah. So he was literally, we were like going through one of the algorithms which we are trying to build. So he was telling me how hard it is. He was currently under a professor in UK who was trying to build his project. So he was telling me how hard things were back then, and now since he can see there is a drastic improvement in terms of how the research is. So how it works is basically you go in and you basically type whatever you want, and it kind of it literally gives you, the question is weak, it helps you with under making the question even better, and it gathers all the paper, screens the paper, extract the insight, and generate the report. I'll show you that as well. And this is currently being used by major companies like, of course, NASA, Stanford, and Unilever, and other companies. Even they are using this tool in terms of their daily drive, because people inside. And one thing is, these companies will have a policy which allows them to use these tools. It is not unauthorized, it is authorized, and it has a certain guidelines which has to follow within this ecosystem. And now let's see if we are going to do something right now. Um, I was trying to do something. It was like a, let me check this. So this is the interface. Let's say you log in. This is how it looks. So basically you have multiple tools even here. As I said, all these tools nowadays have multiple layers. So you need to understand what exactly you have to use at what point. That will actually make you at least 2 steps ahead of someone who is just getting started. Because as someone who's just getting started, he will always, even in terms of our daily drivers like ChatGPT or Claude, we might eventually use the basic settings which they are giving us, which the models. So once we understand which model is for what certain actual reason, we have a better understanding and we will be able to ace it even better. So right now what happens is, so this has certain tools, finding papers, and you can chat with the paper, and extracting data is pro, of course. You can start off with the freemium models, of course, initially to understand how the workflow is. And once you are happy, and if you think this is going to help you with your research, whatever you're doing, then of course, that's how you can actually get it. And even systematic review, that is pro, and the report. So right now, all we are going to do is we are going to just get the find the papers. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm just give this question right now. So first thing it did was it evaluated the question, and it gave a couple of better good research question. Consider adding these elements for better. So the first thing it gave was specific comparison group, or you can define measurable outcomes, or clarify scope and context. So once even we don't even click, the moment we go there near the specific target, it changes the question in a way so that you know if this is the right question or how exactly. You don't have to worry about you giving a question differently. Like basically the outcome is going to be the same, but even better. So let's say we are going to click on the define measurable outcome. So the question literally changes to what is the effectiveness of project based learning in undergraduate robotics engineering courses for improving student technical competency, problem solving skills, and course grades. So we click on this and we click on submit. So what happens right now is it loads up the workspace. It is much similar to the all the UI, and the workflow is going to be the same in terms of the general artificial intelligence tools which we use in our day-to-day life. But the only difference is going to be the LLM that has been trained on. Of course, I think people who have done AI PhD in AI here might know much better than how much better how it works. But since the LLMs been every company train their LLM on certain set of data. So these set of companies do one major thing. They train their LLMs only on specifically these documents, not on general world studies. So that's why you can see currently there is a major trend going on. One, the trend is basically you could have seen people wearing the phones as cameras in the head, or maybe like in their body, and they do their work. So basically this AI records basically the camera is recording this action. Let's say it could be anyone from, if you have seen this reels, or maybe like if you have gone to Bangalore in the city village areas, like probably in the market, people will be wearing the head like the camera, because they are getting paid on a hourly basis of like 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, just to get the data of how exactly our hand movements are done, how exactly people clean the room, clean the house, fold the clothes, things like that. Because a major company can buy that data for a very good 10x price just to train their robotics robots. Basically because there is a lot of robots coming up right now. So that's, but these companies, this elect consciousness, are just trained on this, particularly on this research papers and documents. So their results are always a bit more much better and leveled up than what you get on regular chat GPT and models. So if you see right now, you have given it got us 10 different sources, and it gave us a summary. And at the same time, if you can click on the filter, you can actually like change the publication here. You can actually change this to like basically you can do n number of things. It's like n number of possible things to speed up your research. So you can majorly, why I wanted to show this tool was, rather than a student trying to find out a way to cheat in an exam, let's say, or maybe of course play cheat is a very wrong word here. Basically they are trying to of course learn. Nowadays whatever they are trying to do, let's say wherever they are trying to find the answers, they need to understand that models can be wrong at some point. They need to understand and they need to validate the answer before they present it. So those kind of learnings won't come from them, of course, not as a friend. It will be mostly coming from a professor or someone who's going to be an educator who's teaching me right now. So as in our company, what we do is we basically allow our team to work using AI tools, but we do tell them one thing: always verify the information. Of course it can speed up the speed up the timeline or the speed up the process, but the things, whatever the content should be verified before we it goes out, because we have actually had very bad experience in terms of using AI. I mean, this is how it works. You never, it's always the experience with one of the best teachers that you can actually have. So this tool, I'm pretty sure a lot of professors can uh, tell their students to use in the final term, which can make their research paper even more stronger, and which can actually help them to speed up the process, which will make there is two benefits in terms of speeding up the process. Speeding up the process can help the students work on even more better products, better research papers, which can be published, which will get the professor's credit, like professor a name as well, of course, that paper is published by the professor, and also the university gets a name because that paper, because I have a friend who did her master's from MIT, and that paper is published. So basically, like we had a talk. I mean, we usually have a talk like now and then, once a month. So I remember that time when she was mentioning about the paper getting published and the professor getting uh, like the name as well, of course. So those kind of things will come. It will be because she was also mentioning that the level of support the professor gave. So I can also tell the reason I'm here is mainly because of the professors who I actually worked with, or basically who taught me things. Because the moment, of course, in terms of before I get to the next tool, I wanted to tell you one thing. When I was doing my undergrad, basically my aerospace engineering, we basically, I had a professor who was pushing us even harder to do things. So because of that, what we did was we did a Asia's first flying bike. In case if you Google that Asia's first flying bike, Hindustan University, you can find the prototype which we made, and also my name and the whole team's name in that. So that was only possible because the professor who was grading us was pushing us harder to do that. And because of COVID, it all because we were in the final year, because of the COVID, we had to move back, and everyone had to find their own life at that point because people were trying to get into jobs. So that's why the company got dissolved. But of course, the name is something. Even now, if I go to my university abroad, and if I talk to a professor like who's in a mechanical or who's in a different a department like aerospace, I can actually tell them like what we did, and he will be quite amazed to see such companies, like such level of potential coming from India. Because the way the teaching method changes, it makes the students do much more. So that is something which we will come into later. So that's what, like, the professors are going to be, we always talk about the students are the like pillar of the nation, but I actually feel professors who actually guide the students are the major pillars. So when, only when the professor or the educator who is able to provide such knowledge to the student can become who he was supposed to be in the future. And okay, so the next tool which we are going to talk about is going to be DeepSeek. So this tool is basically can used by teachers to teach students to think critically about the AI output. So this basically shows you the full step-by-step reasoning before every answer, rather than how exactly. Now I think every tool is coming up with this certain future learn step by step. But initially this was brought up by DeepSeek, a Chinese model. Of course, Chinese models are really great. I'm not going to lie, because as someone who is working on AI, and as I can see people in AI faculty, everyone might know, China is doing a breakthrough in all the AI research. They're able to provide the same level, same computational charges at a fraction of the price than what ChatGPT or Claude would do. Even DeepSeek recently reduced the pricing. And so basically, we'll go use the tool directly right now. What we can do is, okay, so this is how usually, let's say, a lot of students might know it because DeepSeek once came as a competitor to ChatGPT as a free platform. Now it has a free platform like how other AI tools are, but it has a paid tool as well. And once you sign in, what exactly happens is this is how you are taken to this sorry, taken through this UI. So basically you have two set of actions. One is the instant and one is the expert. So expert is usually for the complex task which you have, like, I think more than 90% of the tools available in the market have this exact layout. One will be the instant, one will be the, so basically one will be the beginner tool and one will be the expert tool, and which helps in terms of different set of what exactly they're uh, what exactly they're looking for. And then they can also do a deep thinking, which is similar to deep research in ChatGPT and deep research in Claude as well. And so right now, what we are going to do is we are going to basically give it a question. A robotic arm has 3 joints with length 10 centimeter, 8 centimeter, and 6 centimeter. Walk me through the forward kinematic step by step. So since we are giving it a question like this, now it is going to give you a step by step answer. How exactly you can do it. So since it was an instant question, it was not a hard question for it to break down. It was very instant. So you can see it basically gave you a step 1 to draw the arm, and I'm pretty not sure. I mean, at this point, I can't tell if this was 100% right. But imagine as a professor who is using this tool, who is a robotic professor, who can actually see this and he can say, yes, this is right, this is accurate, this is 100%. Let's say if it is 100% right, this is something you can actually provide it to the students, where students can, rather than they cheating, like, again, I mean, I'm so sorry for taking that word again and again, rather than them copying an answer which is wrong, which is a hallucinated answer, or maybe them finding a shortcut in terms of getting the answer, this will basically make the student understand the step-by-step economics of how to get the answer, rather than them putting up the saying, this is the question and give me the answer. Let's say how some certain tools do it. So this tool will certainly help you in terms of creating a step-by-step environment for the students to navigate things in much better way. And also DeepSeek helps you in terms of a lot of other things. I think one major thing which I wanted to cover was the step by step, but apart from that, DeepSeek models are really good in terms of how, if you're doing your research as well. And so basically after this we will go to this brisk teaching. So this teaching tool is basically something I was even fascinated about when I was initially when I researched about this and when I was going through the documents, and I was amused how it speeds up a lot of ways. So before, what I will do is I'll play this 155 seconds video, which will help you in terms of understanding what are the possibilities of this tool. I'm literally thinking this can be used by a lot of professors, or but I think this tool is mainly focused on school, but also it has a university functionality. But I thought, like, why not I show this here, and it can save up to 10. I mean, I might not, because these wordings, of course, they usually say 10 to 20 hours a week, but that's usually not going to be the case how it's going to work. At least it can save you 3 to 4 hours. That is at least a major thing where you can spend your time with the family and on your personal things as well. So I'm just going to play this video. It's going to be like 55 seconds. So I hope you would have seen the ad. Of course, that's you can see what are the possibilities they have been mentioning. And today, what I was also doing was I was also trying to use this tool, because, as I mentioned, I think maybe first time I started using this tool was last week, because I wanted to create this video. Initially, the whole idea was to present this as a video rather than a live session. Sorry. So what happens is you have to install the extension. Basically, you have to install this extension, and it might be somewhere over here. Maybe let me try to find this. Okay, yeah. So this is a tool. Like, basically, I hope you will be able to see this. So you can see you can actually create a lot of things over here. You can also select what grade that you're gonna go with. You also have this university option, but if you look closely, this tool is primarily for school, like, because they have enough number of options for school, like, from pre-kg to even 12th grade, but university was the only option available. And also you can choose multiple languages. And also one thing was you can look at what output. So the output is basically Google Forms or Microsoft Forms. That's the whole idea here right now. What I'll do is, so right now I have went into a Wikipedia page called AI agents. So what I'm also going to do right now is I'm going to click on, just give me 1 minute. Let me move this over here. I'm clicking on this tool right now. So it understood it is a web page, and it has given me a couple of options: create, give feedback, change level. And so basically inspect writing is basically only available on Google Docs when some student writes an assignment, and you can inspect it using this tool. So for now what we do is we click on create, and it has a couple of options. What do you want to create? So imagine the things that we are speaking about. Every time the professor has to create a new set of tools, new set of PDF or something, whenever he finds a new tool or a new document or new publication. But now this can actually make this very fast, simple, and even faster. So it has given you a couple of options. Either you can create a quiz or a presentation or a podcast or whatever. You can actually create a different number of things, which of course I think you can go through it a bit later. But as of now, what I'll do is I'll click on the quiz, and I'll just focus on this right now. And I can also choose. Right now I'm telling it is for a university, but I can also create multiple levels. And it is going to be a multi-choice question. So right now this quiz is going to be a multiple choice, and there's 10 questions. And I can actually give it a prompt on what exactly specifically it should focus. But right now we are not going to use I will leave the play around thing to you guys, so that you guys can once, if you guys think this is a certain tool that must be using, you can definitely give it a shot and walk around, play around with this. So right now I'm clicking on the brisket. So imagine the speed it is working on right now. It is opening up my Google Doc, which has already been connected with the tool, and this my profile. So it already started working. So it is, let me wait until it stops generating. It is working on everything right now. It might, okay, yes, it's done. So literally a quiz is just done in few seconds, maybe not even a minute right now. If you can see, it has just been done within few seconds. Imagine the possibility right now that you can use as an educator to do it for a student. You don't have to sit and create. All you have to do is, of course, verification is something you have to sit and go through it and check if everything is right. But you don't even have to sit and type each and everything. Everything is already done. You have the multi
First, can I also stop you and ask you a question, please?
yes.
Okay. No, I was muted. No, in this particular tool, rather than just giving a website, can I also upload my own PPT or my own notes and ask it to create, like you have mentioned, a quiz or a presentation?
Yes. So basically, right now I'm using the extension right now. If you see that I was using the extension, but you literally have the whole dashboard. Since I didn't had any actual work based attachment, so that's why I couldn't actually show you that in action. But yes, you have the option here to upload a specific file, and then you can ask it to create a quiz.
Thank you.
So this tool will actually save up. I'm pretty sure this tool can actually save you a lot of time in terms of creating quiz and maybe PDF and a lot of things like that. And this tool is called Brisk Teaching, in case if you guys are taking a look. And so the next tool that we will actually go through will be Notebook LM. I'm still confused on how many people might know about Notebook LM right now, because Notebook LM is a tool by Google itself, and it is a free tool. And honestly speaking, I would say this is one of the most powerful research tool available in the market. For a free tier, this is the most powerful tool available in terms of research. So I'll show you how exactly it works. So basically, I was trying to do one thing. Let me try to do it. All I did was maybe I'll show you all the other features what it has, if I can. So basically what this basically does is, let's say you go inside and you get multiple options. You can click on, initially there won't be anything, like, in this chat layer it will be completely empty, it will be free. So you can click on this add sources, and you can either upload documents here as well. Same thing goes on how exactly Brisk is doing it. This has a certain different set of use case as well. So you click on upload, you can upload your document, or if you can even use your any of the YouTube videos link here, you click on that, you paste multiple links, you can actually add multiple links here. All these three documents which you hear, the artificial intelligence in education, robot operation system, or robotics, all these links I gave it all together at the same time, so it was able to grasp that. Or even drive, or even you can upload your copy text, and you can literally do a two set of researches. One is a fast research and one is a deep research. Deep research I'm not going to take do it right now, because deep research will take sometimes 10 minutes to half an hour, depends upon how complex the task is, how complex the whole thing that you're trying to mention. And so in the meantime, what I'll also do is, since we are also low on time, I'll try to do one more thing. So the next tool that we will be using will be Luma Labs. Luma Labs will, I'll just give this prompt to Luma Labs to generate what we are trying to do. I'm so sorry for interrupting in between and doing a different task. So just take a look at this before I'll take you guys back into the notebook LM. I'm so sorry for that again. So I'm gonna ask it to generate a robotic arm performing a precise pick and place operation in a futuristic manufacturing facility with cinematic lighting and slow motion and photorealistic. So I'll ask it to generate. Okay, so I'm gonna tell this to generate in the meantime. So let it keep on generating, and I'll explain you notebook LM, and then I'll take it forward from there. So once you do that, you have multiple option even here. You can use web research. It will take all the information from the documents. It have given me all the questions, like what it understood. So I can either ask it a question here right now. What is emotional AI and how does it support learning? So things like that. So it can find you certain answers. So all these tools have a very different set of, as I mentioned, every tool here has a very different set of use cases, and which will help you in terms of the day-to-day life. So right now, what I can also do is, I'm going to click on a slide deck, a mind map, a flashcard, and an infographic. I hope this gets done in like few seconds to few minutes, since the what the research I have done is small. So usually if you take a look, since I'm running this AI company, since I don't have a AI background, of course, I I was a chronic user of AI. I'm not gonna lie. I've been using AI from 2022 as a day-to-day operations. Every day I use certain number of AI tools. Even now we use in our office, and even in my personal life, I try to work on automations and everything. I learned everything by myself, so I have to always do my own research. So Notebook LM is something that helped me with that. Updating myself with the current market and the current tools, or if I always find some. I'm actually fascinated about the quantum computing recently. Recently I was looking at quantum computing. I was like fascinated because the time frame for quantum computing is getting declined, because we initially thought we will get to the quantum computing stage at 2035, but now because of the AI's rapid growth, we are almost predicting 2030 we will have a proper quantum computer. So what I did was, I gave it a couple of questions. I want to learn about quantum computing. It did its research. Then what I did was, I created a video overview. I'll show you each and every one of things. I hope people might know it. I'm so sorry in case if you already know about Notebook LM. I'm trying to see if in case if someone who doesn't know about Notebook LM, they can actually look at this as well here right now. So basically you have set of options which it can do. I'm also creating this. Let it be custom. You can actually give it what exactly this video should focus on. Let's say for me, I want to AI. That could be the video's actual thing. So right now I'm clicking on the robotics mind map. So this mind map has been made within few seconds as well again. So robotic laws and AI systems. If you click on each and every one of that, it will again take you through different set of things, what exactly each and every layer is going to be. And you can also even download this as well by using, you can actually also download this. And also you have certain other tools like flashcards which will help in terms of if you're going for a quick review or something, you can use flashcards. And like you so this tool has a certain different number of usage. So primarily I wanted to actually talk about the video, infographic, quiz, and the side deck. Those are like major. And also imagine you have someone, you can also create your own podcast here about the AI right now. So let's say we have certain documents which we have given it to right now, that is basically AI tools. So these, okay, it might take a little longer than expected, but what exactly does is it will give you a podcast. Let's say you're working out, you're going to the gym, you're doing your cooking right now, and you wanted to learn little more about this certain tool. What you can do is you can create this audio overview, and you can give a certain reason. As I mentioned, you can either write I want to learn, or I'm going to teach students tomorrow, I need to understand the basic concepts, or maybe I want to go in depth about the details so that I can teach them even better. So that specific slide or the audio is gonna, it is gonna create this certain 6 minutes or a 5 minutes audio recording which is clearly focused on that, which you can hear when you're doing your work. So right now, since this infographics is ready, I'll show you how good this infographic is going to be. And of course you can customize that in the same option. If you look, it got all the information from the uh, from whatever the details I gave. It created from hardware to the classrooms, each and every student's adoption rate, each and everything will be there. So these can speed up the time that you spend on like manually creating something infographic and things like that. You can maybe also give a certain prompt which can help in terms of making it even better. So let this now work on that and create it. In the meantime, I'll take you through the Luma app right now. So what Luma have done is Luma has worked on it, and here we go. We have this video right now. Imagine you, rather than you searching on Google or maybe searching somewhere to find a exact replica of something that you wanted to show to the students, you can create your own video of some certain thing, or maybe some teaching students how this certain works, certain technical mechanical function. Because I have seen futures like it can literally show you how exactly this whole mechanical part works. So those kind of researches, that kind of videos can be done through this tool right now. So I'm gonna, so these are the basic prompts which I gave. Of course, these prompts are very basic, but the more better the prompting is going to be, the result is going to be a bit more detailed. And also how exactly, like, of course, this is what I asked for. I literally asked for a robotic arm picking and placing it something. So that's why I created this. But of course, I think for the syllabus, you can also create even much more better things. And
And are these videos downloadable, sir?
so basically, it might have a premium plan, but actually you can use the free tier as well. If you can, I mean, if you can actually convince the university to get you the subscription, I think that will be much better. If you can find the best use case scenario, because nowadays universities are using it. I'm not gonna be, I'm gonna be blunt here. Nowadays, universities are trying to adopt as many ways so that they can give better things to the students. And I'm pretty sure every university in India is also doing it, and even now. So I think there is a certain plan just to download, but you can actually use it in terms of either you can, maybe we can find a way to get it out. And so this one tool is going to be like it has this, like, even when you're downloading, you will have its Luma AI going on, because they know that we will be downloading initially with the free tier. Free tier will be like very certain credits. Only after a point you might have to pay for the tool. And certain tools always have this, whatever I have done today until now is all on free credits. Nothing I have been paid for any of those certain tools which I'm working on right now. So you can always utilize that first and see if how much value it is providing to you, and then maybe you can think about adopting it in your day-to-day life. Okay, this is going to take some time, let it do. But honestly guys, please do check out this notebook column. It will really help you in terms of a lot of things. The videos, I hope that will be done before we end this session. So I have shown you notebook column, and also I've shown you Luma. And one thing that I also wanted to tell you was majorly about the prompting. I'm so sorry to extend for like next 5 more minutes. I'm gonna take this 5 minutes to explain this one thing. The prompting formula, the prompting, because I have seen generally what people, students, or maybe like anyone would do is they literally go and ask, create a lesson plan, or maybe give me the answer for this. So usually the prompt has to be very good. Like let's say it has to be structured. There's a structure for the formula. It has to have a role, it has to have a task, it has to have a context, and it has to have a format. So how exactly it works is basically, who should the AI be? I hope I'll be able to show you some certain. Okay, I hope you will be able to see this right now. I'll turn it here. So since I'm gonna take this thing a little bit faster, so a complete prompt should look like this. So it will have the role. You are an experienced engineering professor, and like literally giving what. Since I kind of, I was working, I was studying about the university, like I was studying about IES College of Engineering. So I kind of tried to figure out a prompt in that same way. So what it does is, so if you see, there's a role, and there is a task, and there is a context, and what exactly is the output. So the format everything clearly with headings, use a simple acronym, no Jordan, like. So this is a level of prompt that you have to give so that you can get a better result. If you want, you can please take a screenshot of this, and maybe you can try using it. I'm pretty sure you will able to see a significant rise in the level of output that you're getting currently from your AI tools. And let's say, I know since a lot of you use certain AI tools right now, AI agents together. As a person right now, what I use certain AI agents together in the same time. So my certain prompting will look like, I will tell this to work as a tester, and a Python engineer, Python developer, a couple of agents. I will be creating a couple of agents to work on a single project. So this is how usually my prompt will look like. Bit more, it will be a bit more longer, telling each and giving each and every agent a specific task. So saying you are the specific person, you are a, like let's say a risk analyst, you will be analyzing all the details that a business analyst will bring in. So it will have multiple agents will work together to bring you the certain information. So in case if you guys want, please take a screenshot, and you guys can make use of it. And let me see if this is done. And yeah, so hopefully the thing is starting today. I'm hoping you guys will be able to use one of these tools, which will help you in terms of uh, getting much better students for students, and also which will help you majorly, which will help you in terms of you're saving your time as well. Because I personally have seen my sister struggling at one point where after work, and because it's always gonna be there, it's the same thing. Even in UK people do the same, because it's everywhere. As a professor, as someone who's an educator, as a as someone who is supporting the next future pillars, it's always going to be a hard task. And I always respect people who are doing are educators. And so these tools will, I hope, will help you saving a couple of hours in terms of your regular day-to-day life. Even in terms of your free times in college can be rapidly increased because of these certain tools. And I'm so sorry these things are taking a bit more longer than expected, because video and the audio are usually like a little bit time consuming things. But please give it a try. This is a free tool. Make use of it. This notebook LM, until now they haven't put a price on this, and you guys can make use of the whole thing. And I think I have kind of running over the time. And I hope I was able to provide you with such certain tools which will help you in terms of your day-to-day life. And okay, if you guys kind of liked it, maybe you can give a thumbs up, which will like, which I can see, like, how many people have kind of uh, found some useful tools which they can use on their day-to-day life. And thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for the university to give me this such opportunity. You guys can also check out Kefi. Of course, I didn't talk about the platform which we are building. because I know the time frame won't be that long to even talk about everything. But feel free. You can always drop a message on LinkedIn to me. I can actually help you if you're having any. If you think you want any extra details about the certain tools what we spoke about, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll definitely reach out. Like I'll text you back ASAP. Since I'm someone who's always on online, and so I'll definitely get back to you with certain uh, support messages which I can help you. And
So what's your LinkedIn profile name?
it's Nivin Vincent Raj. Maybe I can put my LinkedIn profile over here in chat so that in case if anyone wants to connect, I'll drop it over here. Please feel free to drop a message, ma'am. Anyone, anytime. I'll definitely help you guys out with anything if you're stuck or if you need any in terms of this. Let me.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It was a very nice session. And Notebook LM, yeah, I've been using Notebook LM for some days now. And yesterday also we had a class on Notebook LM. And yeah, like we are getting to know about more features about that. So that's a great thing. And yeah, Notebook LM is a great tool as far as I can see. But I think I depend on Gamma AI for more presentation tools. But usually my credits, like you ask for coins because they have limit. After a limit they do not make. I have to make maybe more than 3 or 4 files a day, ppts a day, so maybe that's not helpful for me. But this Notebook LM is not providing a good presentation. Like they have just one customized presentation, and like I'm not able to customize it, or they just give one slide, that's it, one type of slideshow, and I'm not able to I don't know how to customize it to my needs. So
So
maybe you have to learn more.
yeah. I mean, maybe I can share the screen once, like if you guys are okay with, like I know I'm running. I hope if you guys are having time, I'll be happy to showcase this right now. So maybe if please check if this helps you in any way. So I'm sharing my screen right now again. So basically, when creating the slide deck, so basically if we can create a custom prompt, so it's, of course, at the end of the day, AI is capable of doing anything and everything at the end of the day. As I can see, ma'am, you are using AI every day now. That's really nice. So AI can get you anything, but since I mentioned about the prompting, right? The prompting is something that can actually access the whole accessibility of AI. So if you can create a custom prompt with a custom design language, what you can do is you can maybe go to Pinterest or Dribble or maybe certain tools, and maybe take a, I know this is going to be a little like more lengthy process. You take a screenshot of what exact design language you like, maybe paste it to ChatGPT. You can tell it to extract the design language, nothing much, just a simple line, extract the design language. So what it does is it will create a huge line of paragraph from extracting the color palette, extracting the color, extracting the design, extracting all this information. From there, you can tell it to create a prompt, which I can use it in Notebook LM. You don't have to complicate things over there. You can just ask it to create a prompt. So that set of prompt, you can add it in here. Describe the slide deck. So in case if this might actually help you in terms of maybe not 100% what exactly you are expecting, but at least a little step ahead of what exactly the Notebook LM usually create. As I mentioned today, I have created this using this slide is done through uh, Gamma, and I have also created the other file. This file is done by Notebook LM. If you can see in the bottom, you can see this is Notebook LM is over here. So since I use all these tools, I was able to say you will be able to get the better results by prompting, but not to the extent which you are expecting, but definitely a little better.
Good evening, Nivin. Thank you for the excellent presentation. How do we know the prompts for the various tools? How to use the prompt? I want to know about the prompts.
Prompting. So, ma'am, prompting actually is something like, as I mentioned, since I showed you the prompting, right, ma'am, it is basically okay. There is one certain thing that you can actually do. I'll try to find, because I mean I couldn't find. There is a prompting anatomy. There is something called prompting anatomy, which helps you in terms of. So, as I mentioned, this role, the task, and the context and every output has to be mentioned. So, I mean, ma'am, just one question before I give you the whole answer. So when you asked about the prompting, what exactly, like, is it for the design or is it for the research? Because both has a very different.
It's for research. It's for research.
Okay. So, ma'am, research, I would actually say this would be your framework. Maybe I'll show this to you. Maybe you can take a screenshot and I'll tell you how exactly you can create your own set of prompts from that. Okay, let me share my screen. This is the prompting guide, which I kind of made at a very short span. So, ma'am, like if you you can just take a look at this, or maybe just take a screenshot of this until this. And what you can do is you can paste this prompt into either one of this is the most easiest way, ma'am. This is the most easiest way. I don't want to complicate things by saying you trying to create your own set of prompts. I started off with the same method initially. I screenshotted the best prompts I found online, because usually Reddit and in LinkedIn, people might come up with the best prompts and they post it and they talk about that. So what I do is I take a screenshot of that. I paste it on ChatGPT itself, or ChatGPT, or any of the daily usage tools. You can just tell it. You can tell one thing: create a prompt with the same anatomy, or maybe create a prompt which is similar to this prompt which I have given you in picture for a certain role. What you're trying to do, you give the AI what maybe I'll try to do it, but it is gonna be like a bit it might take little longer. That's why, but you can definitely do that, ma'am. And you can, if you are able to get the results, please let me know. If not, maybe I can actually send you certain prompts which you can use for reference as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, but this will be one of the easiest way, ma'am. Just take a screenshot of this and use it and ask ChatGPT to create what exactly, but give a set of a detailed message. Tell it, this is what I want to do. This is all the memories that I want you to give your, you can literally give it a memory of a risk analyst. So basically, in terms of when we are doing the business, what I try to do is, since I don't have a risk analysis background, what I do is I create that prompt for me usually, so that before I take a decision, I run it through ChatGPT or certain models. I use Claude on my day-to-day basis. I ask it to run it through a risk manager prompt. So that has a same exact structure. It basically will say you are a risk analyst and certain years of experience and the context and everything. So it thinks that it is a risk analyst, rather than it giving a general report on, like, assess this, do a analysis on this certain idea. It will give you, yeah, this is good, or it will maybe sugarcoat. ChatGPT and Claude are basically done in a way that to sugarcoat a user to hit the dopamine hit. So by this way, creating a prompt will help in terms of unlocking the certain level of capability these tools have. So I hope I was helpful, ma'am, here. But this will definitely, ma'am, this is the most simplest way that you can get the prompting done.
Thank you. Thank you.
And in case if anyone have any other like questions, please let me know.
Good evening. This is Dr. Geeta from Kamaraj College of Engineering and Technology. Thank you.
Yes.
I've been asking you a lot of questions and you are very clear with your answers. One last question from my side. Being a teacher, obviously, I cannot stop a student from using any of these AI tools, because AI is currently one of the topmost concepts which everybody is into. So, how do you think it will be better for me as a teacher to instruct a student? Say, for example, I've given an assignment and I want them to actually put their effort in doing the project or assignment. But then I know that they are going to take the content from the AI. So how do I actually instruct them to use the AI, but also, convert it or make it more humanized and make it more presentable?
Okay. So, ma'am, for this is what I was telling, because in certain universities, they are coming with this plagiarism system. So it literally flags the moment students use a AI tool. Like, say they have submitting this assignment, which is done by AI. So straight away it flags it is done by AI. So this can't be stopped, of course, because of the AI is being the hot topic for it's gonna be the hot topic. It's gonna every day, day by day, people are starting to use AI and they are gonna use it. So one thing that maybe, ma'am, what you can do is you can redesign the whole assessment rather than working on the rules, because students will tend to break the rules. Students, that's how the students' mentality is gonna be. They are gonna try any way to break the rule. So what you can maybe try to do is you can redesign the whole assignment in a way they can use ChatGPT or they can use certain tools, but the uh, and also on top of this, I'll get this thing here. AI can also, you also have to teach them that AI is going to give them wrong answers. You have to actually teach them teach verification at a critical thinking skill. Basically, this verification, which I was always talking about, how the moment it gives you the answer, you have to again verify. That should be taught to a student as a critical thinking skill, rather than them just asking AI, give me this answer, and they getting something and they copy pasting it. You have to like start working on ways to teach them about verifying the information that you get online, because hallucination is something that students don't usually get. That students don't usually get that until they actually get plagiarized or get a very critical error at some major point. Let's say they are submitting a research document and they get stuck over there. So, ma'am, what I would say is universities might take a little long to take up this policy, like, because universities, any universities throughout, it's around the globe, because it's always going to be a bit hard, because universities have a very hard framework to set the whole policies like. But what you can do is you can create your own set of policies which you can use in your own classroom by redesigning the assignment, which can allow them to use ChatGPT, but the result won't be like copy chat, like, it should not be like just just a shortcut. They have to make use of the ChatGPT in a right way to get it. So that practices, I think there are currently like a lot of practices that are going on. I remember seeing this small short video, about 2 minutes video, where these teachers from other major universities, what they are trying to do is that this is what they are trying to do. They are trying to redesign the whole assignment to work in their favor, rather than they're trying to stop the students. I think there are
Thank you,
like
sir. Thank you.
I'm so sorry about, like, I'm not able to give you that extended review on how to do that, but I hope I've given you that little bit hint on like how, because probably if you go to Google, and maybe there are certain videos on YouTube, but which will definitely help in terms of that. But redesigning will be the best option, rather than stopping the student or telling the student not to use AI. Maybe if this redesigning can happen, 100% student will be able to use AI better, and also definitely learn things better as well.
I hope all the queries have been addressed. And thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful and highly informative session. So before we conclude today's session, I request all the participants to kindly share their valuable feedback through the feedback form provided in the chat. And your feedback is important to us as will help us improve your future programs. Kindly note that submission of the feedback form is mandatory for attendance and certificate processing. Therefore, I request everyone to complete the feedback form before leaving the session. And once again, thank you, sir, and thank you all the participants for your active participation. And have a pleasant evening. Thank you, sir.
And once again, yes, thank you so much, Gauri ma'am, and also the university for the wonderful opportunity. And please reach out, as I mentioned, please reach out if there is anything, any doubt, any thing that you want to share, or anything that you want to talk about, prompting or things, please reach out. I'll be happy to help.
Okay, thank you, sir.